Hey folks, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be looking at question 1640, check array formations to concatenation. So the approach that we'll be using for this problem is using a hash map and storing each element's index mapped to it. And then while we're iterating through all of the arrays and pieces, we try to check if it makes sense or not. And we will look at the space and the time complexity once we're done with the solution. So let's jump right in. First, let's initialize a hash map. So integer and integer is new hash map. And then let's just say star, just initialize to 0, and then for int I in array, what we would do is map.put. You're putting the element itself, and then you're putting the index, and then you're just saving it. The next thing that you do is you iterate through all of the arrays in pieces. So what you do is int piece in pieces. The first thing you try to do is if you try to check if the first element that you get in every single individual array, if it exists in the hash map, we know that the element exists and we can iterate through that. So let's say if it contains key p of 0. Okay, so if it does not contain p of 0, you would just return false. And let's initialize a new variable called index, and then we'll just say map.get p of 0. And the next step would be we'll have another for loop that would iterate through all the elements in the current array that we're looking at, which is p. So p.length I plus plus, and then we would say if the map doesn't contain that particular key that we're looking at right now, so that would be p of I. If it does not contain that, or if you do get the index and it is not the index that we expect, so that will be p of I is not equal to index plus plus, you would just return false. And after the entire for loop, if we haven't returned false yet, you would just return true because all of the elements exist. So then let's quickly go through this portion of the code. The first thing that we're doing is we just iterate through the array that we're checking, put the element with its index in a map, and we're looking at all of the arrays and pieces. We're checking if, hey, like the first element that we're looking at in the particular array, if that doesn't exist, just return false. Otherwise, you just get the index, and then you compare every index in that particular array to make sure if it is okay. If it is not, you just return false. So let's quickly run this to make sure if it's okay. The first test case passes. Let's see. So let's see what went wrong. 978 46. This should have passed. Index. Wait, hold on. Right. Okay, so the reason why that was a problem was because we have just initialized the array index here, but you need to check with the next index, so you're incrementing it before you actually check it. So that's the reason why it was a problem initially, but after you fix that, it runs okay. Let's just quickly look at the time and space complexity. The time complexity of the entire solution would be of n, where n would be perhaps like all of the elements in pieces combined together, and the space complexity would also be of n, which would refer to all of the elements in the array ARR, since we are using a data structure which is a hash map to store all the elements with their indices itself. So I hope that made sense. If you have any questions about the solution, please let me know in the comments below. If there's any question that you want me to solve, also let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.